Hello everybody, this is Detective Daddy from Boston, Massachusetts, and as you can see, we have 2 rolls of nickels, some Nicodate, got my gloves, my Q-tips right here, napkins to put them on, and I'm going to get some water in here, and we're going to go through these 2 rolls and see what dates we find. Be right back. Okay everybody, so here's what we have. This stack right here is a bunch of Philadelphias. I've already checked the reverse. There's no mint mark that I can see of or I think is even worth nicodating. This pile here is going to be front and back, and this pile here has mint marks, but I can't tell the date. These ones right here, and there's 26 of them, have dates and or mint marks. There's these 3 here that have the mint marks on them. I'm going to show you those in just a second. Be right back. Okay, and here's the first one with a mint mark, and as you can see, right here is the 2, and then you got the 5, which is coming right there. So it is in 1925. Let's take a look at the reverse. And that is, if you can see it, that is a Denver. Pretty cool. Don't have to nicodate that at all. Back with the next one. This one here, as you can clearly see, is 1920. Right here you have the 2 and the 0. Flip it over. And you can see right there, that is a 1920S. Awesome. Be right back with the next. This one here, as you can see, is 1928. Right here, you have the 2 and the 8 right there. Let's take a look at the reverse, see what we have. Whoops, sorry about that. 1928D. Now, those 3 there in good condition are probably worth about maybe $16 total. If I saw 10, I would be ecstatic. But now we're going to get into the good stuff. I'm not going to show you the rest of the ones that I have. Only reason for that is it would make this video extremely long. I'm just going to show you a couple real quick. This one right here, you can see is in 1919. Right here you have the 1 and the 9, and it is a Philadelphia. This one here, 1925. See that clearly right here. Now, mind you, all of these nickels I'm showing you, I bought in a bag of no-date buffaloes. So I paid about 15 cents each. So anything with the date on it, to me, is exciting. And it means I can make money. The last one I'm going to show you from this is 1924, which is right here. And that's the last one I'm going to show. Now what I'm going to do is set up about 10 to 15 of these, show you which ones I'm doing, and I'm going to put some nicodate on them. So I'll be right back. Before we get into nicodate, there's one more I wanted to show you real quickly. It's this one here, which I can almost make out a 3 at the very end, and I'll show it to you right here. I think that might be a 3, but I can't tell what the other one is. It could be a 2, could be a 1, I'm not sure. But on the back, look at this. There is a mint mark, which I believe, by looking at it, I believe could be an S or possibly even a D. However, it does, as you can see, has the ring of death going right through it. So I don't think we'll be able to get a mint marker on that. I'm going to try, but I don't think we're going to have any success. So with that, let's get into nicodating some of these nickels. Okay, here we are with our 16 nickels. We're going to go ahead and nicodate. Be right back. And there they go. They all have the nice dark drops right here. We're going to leave them on there for about 15-20 seconds. They're going to be dipping them in the water here, using the Q-tips to clean off any excess dirt. And I'm going to use paper towels to dab them dry and see what we get. Okay, the nicodate sat on there for a little bit. I've rinsed it off and wiped them down. Let's see what we got. The first one up is a 1916 Philadelphia, and realize all of these ones that you're going to see are Philadelphias. Number 2, 1914 Philadelphia. Number 3 is a 1913. Let's see if it's a type 1 or type 2. And I would definitely say that is 1913 Type 2 Philadelphia. The reason you can tell this is Type 2 is by this right here. The Type 1 doesn't have any of this. There's no raised mound that they're standing on. Now, if this had a mint mark, a D is worth 120 in G4, and in San Francisco is worth 250. However, this is $10 in G4 condition, probably worth about $3 now. 1915 Philadelphia, 1917 Philadelphia, 1916, followed by yet another 1916. Now this one's going to be hard to see. It is 1919, but if I raise it up just a bit, should be able to see it somewhat right here. Is the 9 right there in the 1. Whoops, sorry about that. Another 1917, 1917 back to back. 1916, 1915. Hopefully we can make this one out. It is in 1919. They seem to be coming out tough tonight. Here is the 9 right there and the 1. Hopefully you can see this one pretty good. This is another 1919. I hold up just a bit. Hopefully you can see it just a little bit better right there. This one here is another 1913. I'll show you right here. Here is the 1 followed by the 3. And again, let's see if it's type 1 or type 2. Yeah, I would have to say most likely this is a type 2. Very hard to tell. There's so much wear on the back, but as you can tell, there's definitely no mint mark. That is followed by another tough 1913. You got the 1 right here, followed by the 3. And I did already take a peek at the back. Again, it's going to be back to back where it's hard to tell. I don't think I think it's a type 2 because I think that's a raised ground. You guys leave comments in the below on that, please. Let me know if you think it's a type 1 or a type 2. We're going to get into the second stack and I'm going to nicodate them and show them to you. Okay, these 16 are already almost done, but I wanted to show you something I did in the last ones, and as you see, I actually got 16 out of 16 on dates. Usually I have a couple that don't have any. What I did was just gently taking them and just shaking it just a bit, and that seemed to help on the last batch. We'll see if it helps on these. Okay, these have all been rinsed off and wiped down, so now what we're going to do is take a look under the camera and see what we got. First one up, 1917. 1916. Again, another tough 1919 right here and right there. 1913. Let's see if it's type 1 or type 2, or if we can even tell. And that is definitely a type 2 1913, Philadelphia. This one here is a 1918. Let me just pick it up here. You can see that 8 a little bit clearer that way. Not sure if you can see this one. It is in 1914. There's the 1 right here and the 4 right there. A 1915. Not sure how many of those I've seen tonight. 1916. This one took me a little while to actually be able to see the date, but it is, hopefully you can see it, a 1913. Whoops. It is in 1913. I'll show it to you in just a second here. Hold on. Just move this around, get the light up just a bit. If you look right in here, you can see the 3 and the 1 right there. But is it a type 1 or a type 2? I'm going to go with type 2 again. And yes, I would say 1913, type 2. One from the 20s finally, 1924. Followed by a 1918. Next up, 1914. And once again, we have another 1913. Let's take a look, see what we have. If it's type 1 or type 2. Definitely, I'd say type 2. This one here is in 1919. If I hold it up just a bit, you should be able to see that 9 right there. And we have another 1916. Well, as far as finding dates on all of them, this one here definitely I am not sure on at all. I think it might be a 3, it could be a 6. I just cannot tell on this one here at all. Could even be a 5. I am just not sure at all on this one. So this is going to go in my undated, nickel-dated collection. Okay, the last batch is going to have 17 coins in it, and these are the end of the Philadelphias. Then we get into the final, I think there's 5. Some of the double-sided, and one just needs one side done. So I'm going to do these 17, and I'll show you on the camera in just a moment. Okay, those have already been nickel-dated, dipped, rinsed, and dried. So let's take a look, see what we got. First one of this batch, 1916. Okay, the next one here I've looked at over and over and over again, and I just cannot get a date on it. However, I did notice on the back, I also can't tell if there's a mint mark or not. So I might re-nicodate this here and check out the reverse as well. We'll take a look in a bit. Next up, 1915, followed by finally a readable 1919. 1918, another 1915, 1918, 1916, followed by another 1916. Three in a row, 1916, 1917. This one might be a little hard to read. It is in 1914. Right here you have the 1 followed by the 4. Another 1919 readable with a big gouge in it. And yet again, another 1919. 1916. This one might be a little hard to read. It's another 1919 that's really tough. You got the 9 right here, followed by the 1. And as an addition, we have the Ring of Death. And the last one for the known Philadelphias is 1918. Okay, these are going to be the final 6 here. These 5 here I have to do both sides on. This one here is the one with the mint mark that has the Ring of Death on it, but also I can't tell the date. So we're going to go ahead and do these. Be right back. Okay, on all of these, including this one here that I couldn't find a date on before, I did get a date off of it. I'm not going to tell you what it is now, but now on this one here, I was able to get a date, and it's the one with the Ring of Death on the reverse. Sorry, it's kind of dark, but now I'm uncertain if I want to go ahead and nick a date the back or not and see if I have a chance of figuring out if that's an S or a D. We'll see. Okay, so here they are. This one here I added into it. This is the only one so far I don't have a date on, so I re-nickedated it again, hoping to get a date so I can get 80 out of 80. I mean, getting 79 out of 80 is absolutely phenomenal. Usually you get about 20% with no dates, but we're going to take a look at these and see what we got. Okay, this is the other one that did not have a date, and if you can see it just right, it is a 1913. And just in case you can't see it, I'll show it to you on here. Right here you have the top of your 3 going down and around in the 1. I don't recall if there was mint mark on this. Let's take a look. No mint mark, but that could be a type 1. Guys, let me know in the comments below on that. Okay, and this was the 1916 with the Ring of Death in the back going through the mint mark. Let's see if we got anything to figure out. And it looks, and you can still see the top of it. There's no way of knowing if that's an S or a D. What I might do later is actually bring up an S and a D and compare it to it. Okay, this is the first of the 5 that I had to do nicodate on both sides. Let's take a look here. This is a 1913. Should be able to see it right about there, I believe. Let's take a look, see if we got a mint mark or if it's type 1 or type 2. And the mint mark is negative, and I would call that a type 2. This one was fun to look at. It is a 1926, which hopefully you can see right there. But as you can see, there's not 1 Ring of Death, but 2. You literally have 1 here and a gouge down here. But still, I can make out that 1926. Let's see if we have a mint mark. And no, we do not. Okay, this one came out dark, but it's actually a 1920. Came out fairly decent-ish. Do we have a mint mark? No, we do not. 2 to go. Okay, this one was a struggle to see, but it is a 1913. Hopefully you can see it right there. Show it to you. A 1 and a 3 right there. And on the back, let's take a look. Hopefully you can make this out. It is a Denver down below. I'm trying to see if I can get that to come up. There it is. You can almost see it just a bit right here. You can see the flat part of the D and the round. And as you can see, that is a type 1, not a type 2. I believe that's a type 1. Definitely correct me if I'm wrong. If it's type 2, I'd be ecstatic. But I believe that is a type 1 1913 Denver. Okay, this is the last one, the ones I had to do double-sided before I look at the other one. This is, of course, in 1918. And second coin in a row, there actually is a mint mark on there. I'm hoping you guys can see it. It's actually a D. You can see it right here, the flat part and the curve. So it's a 1918 D. In G4, it's a $22 coin. It's worth like maybe $5, possibly $6 at most in this condition. Okay, but I just went through my collection, pulled out a couple 1920s. It's a D and an S. I'm going to show them to you real quickly. There is 1920 right there, D, which you can barely see. It's a little filled in, but you can see it right here where that flat edge is and it curves. And the reason why I'm showing you these mint marks is to compare it against the other one that I have that I can't tell. And there's a 1920. S. So, haven't seen those. There's the S. There is the D. Let's take a look and see if we can't figure out what this might actually be. Any guesses? I'm thinking more D now than S, to be honest with you, but still, it's just so hard to tell. Thought I'd give it a shot and see what would happen. Oh well, it'll still just go down as a Philadelphia. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did making it. It's been a long time since I did one of these videos, or any real videos, in fact, at all. So to me, just making a video has been a pure joy. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, happy hunting.